Okay, this will be a long one. I have no idea how long. But yesterday I went and got my eyes looked at. Went and saw an eye doctor for the first time since moving to Texas, and it was a convoluted experience, to say it in a pithy way. I have never experienced anything like this. So I called him up, and I said, okay, I'd like to make an appointment. Or actually, what I really did is I went to their website, and they have a calendar on their website, and you pick the calendar and you say, okay, I'm going to make an appointment then, and then you enter in your data, and they're like, great, we'll call you to confirm. And what they did is they called me to not confirm because I picked a slot that was already chosen. And I'm like, great. So the website failed me, like right out of the gate. Failed. So I'm on the phone with them and rescheduling, and she says, do you have medical insurance? I said, yes. Does it cover vision? I said, no. I chose not to pay for the separate vision plan because it's terrible. It's a terrible, terrible vision plan. It costs the same amount as the benefit you get from it. I don't even understand why people would bother. So she goes, okay, is this a medical visit, or a routine checkup? And I said, well, here's the thing. I have this family history of glaucoma, and what the last doctor did was use that to then file it as a medical claim. She goes, well, the doctor will determine that, and you may end up paying the $150 out of pocket for a routine exam. I said, okay, I understand that, but because I have this medical history, I actually do qualify under my medical insurance, so these trips can be billed under my medical insurance. And she said, I understand that your previous doctor did that, but our doctor will determine how it's billed. I'm like, okay, we have gotten off to the wrong foot, right? Like, okay, do what you want to do, but I didn't expect anyone to, have fealty to insurance companies, especially since I got qualified. They wouldn't have approved it. Anyway, so moving on, appointment happens. I show up, and woman at the counter. Oh, by the way, I had entered my insurance information into the website. So I show up at the appointment, and this is yesterday, and she says, "Okay, I'd like your insurance card." I'm like, "Okay, why?" I entered it into the website when I created the appointment. She went, "Well, yeah, but I need to make a copy for my records." I went, that's fine. Why did I enter it? Why did you bother to have me enter this if you are still going to take a photocopy of it, right? They did tell me the answer, which was they like to do some pre-checking. They like to take the numbers and validate against the account to make sure I qualify, blah, 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 to kind of take some of the billing work out later. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That's fine. While they were photocopying my card, I looked down and there's a sign-in sheet, and I signed in, and my appointment was 8 a.m. and they said, it's the first appointment of the day, 8 a.m. And even Google, when I was sending in directions to get there, Google's like, this place doesn't open until 8. So, you might not get there while they're open. You might have to wait around. I'm like, okay, Google, that's fine. I'll hang out in the parking lot a little bit. So I do that. I show up. Someone else signed in for an appointment at 7:40. I'm like, oh, it's not the first. But I'm pretty early in the day, right? Still, it's like there's only one person else signed up on the list, so I'm patient 2. And they go in the waiting room. So I sit in the waiting room, and I wait, and I wait, and I wait. And then eventually this woman calls me, and I go in to sit in this chair in this kind of central area. If you can imagine, there's a waiting room, and then there's this portal where they have eye tests going on, and then beyond the portal is more rooms and stuff. But everyone has to walk through the portal in order to get to the other stuff. So I sit down, and she's going to do my eye test. She takes these glasses, which are my most recent ones, so my most recent prescription, and she's like, I want you to wear these to do this first test. Let's just see how they work. Okay, she takes them off me. She sprays them with glass cleaner, and And then she reaches, there's a box of tissues and then another box of type of paper, but that box is empty. She reaches into it to grab something and it's like, whoever was there last didn't refill the box, which is hilarious to me because it's a medical facility and you think like, you know, a lot. I don't know if I was the last person to use the glass cleaning tissue paper at a medical facility that specializes in glasses and eyesight, I would just fix that for them. You know, I would just do it. Anyway, so she goes to get another thing. She grabs a piece of paper out of the new box and goes, squeeze, 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 squeeze. You know, she cleans it and hands it back to me and says, how's that? And I hold it up to the light and I go, this is completely smeared. Right? It was like just smears all over everything. This is a place where they sell eyesight. That's what they sell there. They sell good eyesight. And this person presumably is a professional, and cleaning glasses would be one of the things she does on a regular basis, and she couldn't tell that she had just totally fucked them up. So I hand them back to her, and she goes, okay, takes another paper, squeak, 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 you know, how's that? And I look, and there's still like spiral patterns and light and I'm like, fine, it's fine, because I could see through it. I'm like, whatever, I don't want to like watch you do this again. So we do a couple tests, and at one point she says, okay, take your glasses off, I want you to read, you know, the line that you can see most easily. And I'm like, there's only one line on the screen. It's a digital screen. Like, I'm looking through the, you know, the 1, 2, 1, 2, that test thing, but I'm the refraction test, but the thing I'm looking at is digital. And I go, there's only one line. She goes, oh, and I hear click, 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 and it moves down. Another line appears. And I go, now I see 2 lines. Click, click, click. Okay, now I see 3. Click, click. You know, now I see 4. She goes, okay. I went, is it only 4 lines? Yeah. Okay. So then I proceed to read the bottom line, which is the first one on the screen. And so then she continues with the test, but remember, she's click, click, click. It didn't get centered. It's like at the top right of the screen. So she's like, look at these dots and tell me, you know, is this more clear, less clear, more clear, less, right? And I'm like, does it matter that the dots are, like, the thing I'm looking at is in the upper right-hand quadrant? It's not centered because you never actually centered what I'm looking at? Yeah, that's fine. And I don't know, given her ability to clean glasses, I didn't believe it was fine. I just didn't. But anyway, she finishes that and says, okay, you got to go back to the waiting room and someone else will come get you. So I go back to the waiting room. I'm like, okay. I do that, and another few minutes go by, and a guy gets me, and he grabs me, and we walk through the area I was just in, into a room that has medical equipment and degrees on the wall and stuff like that. This is a clinic. This is a clinical treatment room, and he's not my doctor either. And he proceeds to numb up my eyes and take my eye pressure because, you know, they do that. That's important. And he comes up with 18 and 17 for eye pressure. Now 21 is like, that's not good, right? 18, 17 is in normal range. But I have high eye pressure. I know this. This is why I go regularly to the eye doctor. And I said, whoa, I haven't seen numbers like that in years. I've not seen low numbers like that in years. And he goes, oh, well, that's what I got, 18 and 17. I said, you should do it again. He's like, you want me to do it again? Yeah, I want you to do it again. So he does it again. He gets 18 and 20. Now 17 turned into 20. Or 18 turned into one of those things. I'm like, that's better. But still, I'm shocked at how low it is. He goes, yeah, that's what I got. And I'm like, okay. And then he proceeds to do a peripheral vision test. He's like, look at my nose. Look right here. Look right here. Okay? And he goes, how many fingers am I holding up? And he's like doing these patterns around my head, and like I'm like 1, and then like 1, and then I'll do it on the camera so you can see 1, and then 5, and you know, over here 3, right? And he gets to this one section, and he's like, and I go 4, and he goes, how many is that? I went 4. And he went, okay, and wrote it down. And I thought, this didn't feel very scientific, right? You're testing my peripheral vision, like, on Fox Sports, when we were playing Major League Baseball, like they, on television, they put a box overlaid on the screen to show you where the strike zone is, because it's really hard to know. Everybody's slightly different, and their strike zones are different, so it's really hard to just eyeball it and know where it is. And so I kind of feel like he's doing the strike zone of my peripheral vision and doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing, right? So he finishes that. We talk a little bit. He goes, okay, let me check to see if the doctor has a room open. I'm in a room. I'm in a medical clinical room. Let me see if the doctor has a room open. Oh, no, not. Okay, I'm going to have to send you back to the waiting room. So I have to go back to the waiting room. Okay, so I'm back in the waiting room. Now remember, my appointment's at 8 a.m. It should be, like, I should be in and out, like, no delay, right? Wait there for a few more minutes. Same guy comes and gets me, puts me into a different clinical room. Now, the difference between these two rooms, the one I was just in where he's poking my eye, and the new one, is the new one has different mood lighting and different degrees on the wall. The first room had the degrees of some different doctor. This room has the degrees of my doctor. And I'm, so I'm like, okay, I get it. This is his particular room, but obviously that other one wasn't being used. What is, so I wait there, and I wait there, and they close the door. It's dark in there, and they just close the door. I'm just sitting there and just looking at, like, he lived in St. Louis, and he has a degree in Boston, and California, and now Austin. And I'm just looking around, and at 9:10, he walks in. Now remember, my appointment to get my eyes checked was at 8 in the morning, and I arrived a few minutes early, and now it's 9:10, and I'm finally seeing the doctor. And he was amazing. Like, he walked in, and, like, all of a sudden, everything became cogent and professional and detailed, and he had all the answers, stuff like that, and he was talking about my family history, and I said, yeah, and I took this eye pressure. He goes, oh yeah, 18, 20, I went, he goes, it's normal. I go, yeah, it's low. And he's like, okay, it seems low to you? Yes, I've never seen numbers that low in years. And he goes, okay, well then I will redo your eye pressure. I will do it myself. And I said, yeah, okay, great. Then he talked about, like, how often you could take eye pressure, and, like, to really truly determine if someone has high eye pressure, you have to do it, like, every hour for 12 hours, that kind of a thing. And I said, I'm just, like, because it wasn't an hour in between. I said, I'm concerned about the disparity. Oh, yeah, he takes my eye pressure, and it comes out to be 22 and 23, right? Remember, 21 is the cutoff line. These are small. These numerical variations are big in terms of importance. So the difference between an 18 and a 20, or 20 and a 23 is huge. The difference between a 17 and a 22 is gigantic, right? And he's very thorough about it. Like, I could tell. I think he's taking my pressure like 5 times because he's really taking a long time on each eye. And I said, I am concerned about the disparity between your results and the results in that other room I got. And he goes, I completely understand why you would feel that way. And that is why I took your eye pressure. I went, yeah, okay. But mental note, the next time I go back there and they want to take my eye pressure in that room, fuck that. Nope, not happening. The doctor's doing it. I don't give a shit. No one else is going to do it but the doctor. Because I no longer trust any other employee there. Like, they don't know how to clean glasses, and they don't know how to take proper eye pressure. I don't trust them. And it's a waste of my time. It's just a waste of time. Like, if he's going to have them redo it anyway, just do it. So anyway, he does everything. He's great. He gets a really nice, detailed explanation of his theory about why my eye pressure's high. He doesn't think it's something to be concerned about, but the family history is something to be concerned about. We talk about that, and everything's fine. And then I leave, and I set up my next appointment for 6 months to do these other annoying exams I have to do. But that's how it is. And now I feel, like, conflicted because I've never gone to a clinic, a medical eye clinic, I should say, where I was passed off through so many hands. And even the second dude, that dude, he was like, yeah, I've worked here for 6 months. I've never seen it like this. Normally, you go into a room, the doctor comes into the room, the doctor does all the tests. They do the refraction, they do everything. And they don't do it that way. And what's even weirder is this doctor, as he moved into our room, like, he had an assistant, and the assistant was all business, and she was just writing down numbers and all. It was crazy. And he even knew about my old doctor. He recognized the name. My old doctor's in Seattle. It's fascinating. So I feel this conflict. I'm like, I should have been in and out in probably 45 minutes, given that they didn't do some exams. Normally it's an hour I'm there when they do all the exams. But I had such a good experience at the end. So, like, he is worth it, but that means I have to go through this crap, and it takes so much longer per patient. But my guess is they're stacking patients. So it might take me an hour and a half, but if they overlap patients of an hour and a half, or maybe 3 of them, then they get more throughput per hour and a half period than they would otherwise. So I think they're doing it for a business reason. But I don't want to go through this gauntlet. Okay, that's it. That's the story. That's everything. It's 16 minutes. Yeah, it's about the entire ride to work, because I'm about to pull into the garage here. Ha! Nothing works easy. Nothing's just... Okay, bye.